Good afternoon, everybody. This is going to be a gear video, just showing what I will be bringing on my 2021 through hike attempt of the Continental Divide Trail. So let's start with pack. So I'm a really big fan of the Hyperlite mountain gear packs, and really all of their gear. Wind Rider 40 liter, I believe. This pack went through the Pacific Crest Trail with me. It's definitely has some miles on it, we'll put it that way. But we'll see if we can get one more through hike out of her. I'm emotionally attached to this pack. I really enjoy it. It's really comfortable, it's really lightweight, and it's really functional. And my favorite thing about it that a lot of packs don't have is the fact that it's waterproof. So it's a huge plus to me to not have to worry about stopping to set up my pack cover if it starts drizzling a little bit. Granted, it is such a well-worn pack. It has some of these micro holes, these pinholes in it. So far I haven't found them to be an issue, but also ignore how dirty this is. It used to be a white pack, believe it or not. Things that are on my pack. Let's see here. A pee rag, and before everyone starts freaking out and saying, ew, gross. That's just the way it is. Honestly, having a bandana with a little bit of your TT on it is not the dirtiest thing on your body when you're basically living homeless in the woods by choice. Shoes. I personally am a really big fan of the Ultra Lone Peaks. As far as which version, I'm not so picky. The whole idea behind all of the Ultra shoes is that they have a wide toe box and allows your toes to spread. They're very comfortable. These are obviously a little bit worn, so I'm going to be starting out with those. Pretty much use them until they bite the dust, which they're probably not far off from that. Next, I have my trekking poles. I am a really big fan of the Black Diamond. I believe these are the Carbon Fiber Z Light women's trekking pole. The reason I use trekking poles is because if I don't, my hands hang down, my fingers get really swollen, and it's uncomfortable. So I really like to have trekking poles. They keep my hands elevated, they give my arms something to do. I had a different set of those for the AT. These particular poles came with me on the PCT, and so they're gonna go for round 2 here. Next up, I've got my cheap Panama Jack Walmart sunglasses. They are polarized, UV protectant. I really like these. I trash my sunglasses and or break and or lose them fairly quickly, so I'm not going to spend a lot of money on them. As long as they are polarized and have UV protection, that's good enough for me. I have a LifeProof phone case because the one that I have now is no longer waterproof, and it's going to need a new one. So I'm going to get a new one for the trail. Next, I have my electronics bag. Headphones, just in case we're going to be around other people. Longboard and I can each wear one without disturbing anyone else, or if we want to do something or watch something. We're editing videos at camp. Charging port, I'll probably end up getting a double. Chargers for my Anchor battery and my headphones. This Anchor battery will charge my iPhone about 6 or 7 times from dead. Yes, it is a heavy brick, but truthfully, it's worth it to me. We are so reliant on technology. Also, the fact that we will be using gut hooks for our guides. We'll have paper backups, but our main source of information is going to be coming from our phones, so definitely want to keep them charged. Rechargeable headlamp. This is a night core headlamp. Honestly, I'm super happy with it. It's incredibly lightweight. It's just a few ounces. It's rechargeable, which is a huge thing. My other 2 hikes I've used a battery powered, I believe they're Black Diamonds, and I was okay with them, but truthfully for what they were and really how short of a time they lasted, I've been a lot happier with this one. It's just really basic. It's rechargeable. It's got red light, a few different white light settings, SOS. I mean, everything that I consider a necessity. Let's see, poop trowel, of course, chapstick, lighter, some duct tape. Let's go through toiletries bag. I have my medications, some ibuprofen allergy meds, toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, because I am a daily flosser and you should be too. Some gear repair tape, band-aids, retainers, of course. So next I have my sleeping bag. It's the Daisy May. I think it's a 30, it might be a little bit lower. I'd have to check, but super happy with this bag. It's just a mummy style bag. Pretty basic, not much to say. Compacts really nicely. Next up, we have our water filtration system. So because Longbird and I are a duo, we have the privilege and the luxury of kind of each carrying a piece of gear for the other, kind of splitting that weight. So instead of us each carrying a water filter and each carrying stuff for the tent, I carry the water filter, Longbird carries the tent, I'll usually carry the stakes. Basically it all balances out, and that way we can kind of have more luxury type items without increasing our weight a whole bunch. But we've been really happy with the Platypus Gravity Works filter. It really ensures that we stay hydrated. You fill it up, you set it on a tree or set it up, and you can set up camp, cook dinner, you can get things done while Gravity filters your water for you. Something a little bit newer for us. So on the Pacific Crest Trail, I only cold soaked. I had my little peanut butter jar or Talenti jar and just lived on cold food and drinks. However, when it's cold out, I am a big coffee drinker. We didn't want to carry one of each, so we actually are giving this a shot. You can either cold soak in it or you can make things nice and warm. The only thing that I've heard is a negative to this, and that we've actually experienced a couple times while hiking in Colorado, is suction. If you have any pretty extreme altitude changes, it can suction the lid onto the pot to the point where you really almost can't get it off. So I can foresee that being an issue on this trail, so we'll see. Worst case scenario, we'll end up getting a jar and just using this as a regular pot and cold soaking in the jar. We'll see. What are you doing, Stella? We're gonna try out some Dirty Girl gaiters this year. Base layers. I have the Carry Traw I think they're mid-weight, top and bottom base layers. I've used these on a couple of trips and I've been really pleased with them. They are a little bit more on the delicate side. We'll see how they hold up. I have my rain pants, Outdoor Research Helium rain jacket, stove. Longbird found it on Amazon. It's really, really tiny. It works really well, actually. You can control the output really precisely, so a lot better of a find than I was expecting it to be. Fuel can. Arc'teryx LT hoodie, huge fan of Arc'teryx products. I mean, I had a very similar jacket all through the PCT and the AT until I lost it in a lake. That's a whole thing. This is the first time that I will be hiking with the hoodie. So my previous Arc'teryx jacket was not the hoodie, and I remember there were plenty of times hiking where I really did wish that I had a hood, so very excited to have that, especially this being at a higher altitude and a bit of a colder trail. Spandex shorts. I really like hiking in basically booty spandex. A PFG shirt. This is going to be my first time hiking in one of these. Obviously had to go with an obnoxious yellow color. Got my trusty Thermarest Neo Air. This is the women's. It's the full length one. It's not the shorter one. Made it through the entire PCT. Used to be yellow. I really like this sleeping pad. It's really durable, it's fairly comfortable. Really excited to still have that. This is a new one for me, a pillow. I am almost 30 now. I can't swing the closed pillow anymore. I hurt, I'm not comfortable, I don't sleep well. This is gonna be my main luxury item on this trip. Really a comfortable pillow. Hopefully it'll help me get some good sleep. Darn Tough socks, of course. Great customer service, great warranties, and honestly, they're comfortable, they're durable. I just can't say enough good things about Darn Tough. Cocoon mummy liner. I sleep kind of cold when we're camping. This whole trail is gonna have some pretty chilly nights, so I think it's gonna come in handy a lot. Tent. As some of you may know, Longbird and I met on the Pacific Crest Trail. We ended up sharing a one-person tent between the two of us. Longbird is about 6'2", I'm about 5'9". Finally, we upgraded to the MSR Hubba Hubba. I freaking love that tent. The MSR Hubba Hubba has gotten us through some crazy nights, some crazy weather. Much love for the Hubba Hubba. However, last time we took it camping, we noticed it had quite a bit of holes. It was really not waterproof anymore. So this year we sprung for the Z-Packs Duplex. We jumped on the wagon. Crocs. I got these Crocs at Outdoor 76 in Franklin, North Carolina on the Appalachian Trail. They used to be green. These have gone through most of the AT, the entire PCT. They've gone through snow, they've gone through river crossings. They are my day-to-day favorite house shoe, gardening shoe. I wear these shoes almost every day since March or April of 2016. They're still going strong. I'm gonna try to triple crown with these. Plus side, I weighed them in comparison to my new Crocs. These are actually, I've worn a few grams off of these, and they're so worn in, I can bend them every which way, and they're really packable now. Food bag. This is something that we're probably gonna have to change once we get into grizzly country. It's the Hyperlight Mountain Gear size large, basically gear section. For those that aren't unfamiliar with Hyperlight Mountain Gear, their little packing cells are the exact dimensions of the Hyperlight Mountain Gear packs, so they stack in and they don't waste any space. I've used one for the entire PCT, and then I ended up getting a new one because I wore the other one down. You can hang them from a bear line. Just hook a little carabiner on there. Food fits in there really well. I can fit about 10 to 12 days of food in here. I know when we get into grizzly country, may have to get an Ursack. We'll see kind of down the road what ends up happening with that. A couple of things that were not listed there, ice sacks, micro spikes, and gloves for cold weather. We're gonna mail those to ourselves once we actually get near a situation where we're going to be on ice or snow. We'd rather carry the weight and not need them than end up in a situation where we need them and don't have them. But that really won't be until probably the San Juans. Also, we're each going to start out with about a 5-liter water capacity. Not pictured were toilet paper or wipes. We do pack them out. Please don't bury and leave your toilet paper or baby wipes in the woods. They don't decompose quickly enough and they end up being trash. I use a Mency cup, so I'll be bringing that. Mency cups are more manageable. They're better for the environment, they're more comfortable, and they're easy to deal with when you're hiking. Hand sanitizer, of course, is normally something that we carry, especially this year with COVID. We'll probably be carrying a mask just for when we go into town, just because we don't know what the situation is going to be like in each area that we end up. And our goal is to always be respectful of everyone around us. So that's my gear list for our through hike of the CDT. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions. I'd love to hear them, especially if you have any tips or tricks that maybe I didn't mention or you think would be really neat. We'll see you next time.